Well, it is arguably one of, if not the biggest mornings in Hollywood, with the annual Academy Award nominations announced just a few hours ago. And topping the crop this year with the most nominations is Birdman and the Grand Budapest Hotel with 9 nods each. Of course, this morning it seems a big buzz is, of course, always about the snubs and surprises. And joining me to break it all down, Variety Senior Editor Ramin Setoodeh. Good to see you, Ramin. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, let's launch into what I would call your OMG moment this morning when you hit Twitter and had a response to it. What was it?
I think people were most upset about the fact that Ava DuVernay, who directed Selma about the 1965 civil rights marches, she was supposed to make history this morning. She was supposed to be the first female African-American woman to be nominated for Best Director, and instead the Academy went with, once again, 5 guys and snubbed not only her, but Angelina Jolie for directing Unbroken.
And so you have Alejandro Gonzalez for Birdman,
Inarritu
for Birdman, Ricardo Linklater for Boyhood, Bennett Miller, Wes Anderson, Morton Tilden for The Imitation Game as well. So is this another, I don't want to use the word black eye, but black eye for the Academy that's been accused of not being diverse, not just ethnically, but gender as well?
Gender is a huge problem for Hollywood. Only 2 of the top 100 grossing movies of last year were directed by women. 98 of them were directed by men. It's a huge problem. There's no other job in which men do all the work and women aren't allowed opportunities.
Yeah.
So people have been trying for years to make this better, but if the Academy isn't honoring women that make good films, they've got a big problem ahead of them.
Now, in Best Picture category, you have American Sniper, Birdman, Boyhood, The Grand Budapest, Imitation Game, Selma, The Theory of Everything, Whiplash. You have a lot of people, again, highlighting the fact that here you have Selma nominated for Best Picture, but as you pointed out, Ava DuVernay snubbed.
Right, and one of the big surprises, I think the other big surprise this morning was American Sniper came on very strong. Clint Eastwood's movie about...
There was a huge push at the end for that film.
There was a huge push about that movie about Navy SEAL Chris Kyle. Bradley Cooper got a surprise nomination. Yeah. The movie got 6 nominations, and it's just coming out in wide release this weekend. So I think people are going to go and see that.
Best Actor category, again, people focusing in on David Oyelowo's performance in Selma, but he was shut out of the Best Actor category for the Oscars.
He was shut out, and Jake Gyllenhaal was also shut out for Nightcrawler. He was so good in Nightcrawler.
He was so creepy. If good means creepy, yes, he was. That movie.
He lost 30 pounds.
That movie terrified me.
Produced the film, and he got a lot of the precursor nominations. But I think what happened was Bradley Cooper, who came on strong at the end, ended up taking his spot. And speaking of creepy, Steve Carell also got nominated for Foxcatcher.
Yeah. Who do you think is going to win that category?
I think it's a tie. It's a kind of a two-way race between it's a two-way race between Michael Keaton for Birdman and Eddie Redmayne for The Imitation Game.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice.
Eddie Redmayne for The Theory of Everything.
Theory of Everything. That's okay. I know, and his performance.
Yeah,
his performance is phenomenal in that. But Michael Keaton has that, you know, the old Hollywood people who still love and adore him. Not that he is old, but you know what I mean by that. It's like people like to protect the old guard sometimes.
Michael Keaton's never won an Oscar or ever been nominated for an Oscar.
And he deserves it for this one, that's for sure. Just quickly, I want to get to Best Actress category. Marion Cotillard, Felicity Jones, Julianne Moore, that's my favorite in the category, Rosamund Pike, and Reese Witherspoon. Who do you like?
I think Julianne Moore is going to, this is her 5th nomination. She's never won before. She plays this woman who gets Alzheimer's disease, early onset Alzheimer's. It's a heartbreaking movie, small movie, but a heartbreaking movie. So I think she's going to end up winning for her first Oscar. But the big surprise was Marion Cotillard getting in for this very small French movie, 2 Days, One Night, that was in Cannes.
I'm really out of time, but I have to ask you Best Picture because I didn't ask you that. What's going to win?
I think Boyhood's going to win. 12 years, Richard Linklater spent a lot of time making this movie.
It is a commitment. It sure is a front runner. All right, thank you so much. Great to have you on. Thanks for running down the list with us. And thank you for joining us for this edition of News Nation. I will see you tomorrow, which I think is Friday. It is? I hope so. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. Up next, Andrea Mitchell reports.